I confessed on a Wednesday because I thought the middle of the week would soften it. As if there is a day on the calendar gentle enough to hold a bomb. Our daughter, Lily, is 2.5. She has Sam's calm eyes and my mother's dimple and a laugh that bubbles out of her like seltzer. People always say, she looks just like her dad, and I always smiled and said, I know, because there is a version of the truth that isn't a lie until it is. I cheated once. That's the sentence I have been practicing like a song I hate. I cheated in the messiest way. At the beginning of our marriage, during a month when Sam and I were fighting about dumb, solvable things and I was hungry for a feeling I could have asked him for, but didn't. His name was Julian. An old boyfriend who slid into my messages when he saw a photo of our new apartment. We had dinner to catch up. Then we had a bad idea and called it closure. I went home and showered and hated myself and then pretended none of it happened because pretending is my favorite drug. When I found out I was pregnant 3 weeks later, the dates overlapped by just enough to make me dizzy. My OB did the math. I did the math. I tried to make the math loyal. Conception windows are as forgiving as tarot cards. You can read what you want if you squint. I told myself it had to be Sam because we were trying, because we were married, because the alternative would destroy him, because some choices are so ugly you keep them in a drawer and pray they never see daylight. We loved Lily hard. Sam warmed bottles at 3 a.m. and learned the swaddle that looks like origami. He paced the hallway while her colic screamed air raw, and he cooed, "It's okay, little bird," until she melted. He is the man who makes sweet potato cubes on Sundays and labels them with dates, who remembers the stuffed bunny when I forget, who carries tiny socks in his pockets like talismans. I watched him become a father with his whole body and told myself the only story I could stand. Of course she's his. Then I saw Julian at a grocery store. I hadn't seen him since the closure that did anything but. He was in the checkout lane with a bouquet that looked expensive and a face that looked the same. He caught my eye, did that little head tilt men do when they think time owes them a smile, and I felt a wave of nausea like morning sickness returning with a grudge. I left my basket and sat in the car with my hands shaking on the steering wheel. There is no good reason to see an ex buying flowers and think, I am a fraud. There is only the true one. That night, Sam tucked Lily in and came back to the couch with the baby monitor and 2 mugs of tea. He asked about my day. I lied about running into anyone. The lie felt the way a splinter does when you try to ignore it, small, mean, and getting infected. For a week I tried to make the feeling go away by being perfect. I packed daycare lunches in little silicone cups like a Pinterest board. I initiated sex and cried quietly afterward in the bathroom because my body was telling 2 stories at once. I woke up every hour to watch Lily breathe, as if vigilance could make her genes align with my will. On Wednesday, I stopped pretending. I waited until Lily was asleep and the dishwasher was purring and the house smelled like lemon and end of day. Sam was at the table paying the gas bill, humming under his breath like he does when math is simple. I sat down across from him and put both hands flat on the wood because I read somewhere that grounding your palms gives you courage. It did not. I need to tell you something, I said, with the voice of someone asking for a glass of water in a desert. It's about Lily. About how she might not be yours biologically. Sam didn't go to rage. He went to still. He set the pen down and looked at me like a man reading a blueprint that has shifted under his hands. Might, he said. I told him everything. I told him about the month we were bad at kindness, the dinner, the closure that wasn't, the dates that overlapped just enough to make honesty expensive. I told him about the grocery store, and the bouquet, and the nausea, and the bathroom cries. I told him that I wanted to believe my way out of biology, and that I failed. He didn't ask a lot of questions. He asked one. Did you ever intend to tell me if you'd never run into him? The truth is a ricochet. I don't know, I said, which is a dishonesty trying to dress as humility. The real answer is probably not, because I am a coward who loved you and hoped the math would let me stay one. He nodded once, like a man who has decided which beam to remove, so the house doesn't crush him when it falls. Okay, he said and stood. He took his phone out, scrolled, dialed. Ethan, he said when someone picked up. I need a referral for a family lawyer. Tonight. He listened, said thank you, wrote down a name on the back of a gas bill envelope, and then he did the thing that will live in my bones longer than any shouting would have. He walked to the bedroom, pulled a small duffel from the closet, packed underwear, jeans, 2 shirts, a toothbrush, his glasses case, and Lily's spare bunny. He didn't slam anything. He moved like a man getting out of the way of a wave. I'm going to my brother's, he said in the doorway. He looked past me, toward Lily's room. I'm not going to wake her. I'll email you in an hour. Please don't call me. He left. The door closed with that soft latch sound our landlord bragged about last year when he replaced the hardware. I sat on the floor with the baby monitor in my lap and listened to Lily breathe, loud and indifferent, like a metronome for the truth. At 10:07 p.m., my phone pinged. Subject: immediate next steps / paternity / boundaries.
Eve contacted counsel.
In our state, a child born into marriage presumes the husband as the legal father. My lawyer will file a petition to disestablish paternity and a motion for genetic testing through an ABB-accredited lab. Until we have results, I'm going to limit contact to logistics only. I'm moving out tonight. You can stay in the apartment for Lily's stability. I'll keep paying my half of rent / utilities for now. We'll reconcile later. I'm not discussing this with anyone but my brother and counsel. Please extend the same courtesy. We're dealing with a private family matter is sufficient for others. I'm blocking you on text / phone for now. Email only. Anything regarding Lily's care, appointments, daycare, illnesses should be in one daily email. Urgent items. Subject line urgent. Date: tomorrow 9 a.m. I'll schedule the court-ordered test request. Expect contact from the lab to arrange chain of custody collection. I'll cover the fee. Saturday 10 to 12. I'll pick up clothes and personal items. Please be out, or if you prefer, I can request a civil standby.
S.
I read it twice and then again. It was precise, without cruelty. It used words I had to Google. Presumption, disestablishment, chain of custody. And did not use the ones I feared: monster, liar, homewrecker. He wasn't punishing me. He was protecting himself. And, if I'm honest, protecting Lily from a story without facts. The next morning, an email arrived from a law office with an intake link and a note about no-fault filings and temporary orders. A day later, a lab called to schedule testing. They said words like buccal swab and non-invasive and results in 3 to 5 business days. They explained chain of custody, both parties present with IDs, samples sealed, paperwork signed. I took the soonest lot. Sam and I sat in the waiting room like acquaintances at an airport. The nurse asked Sam to hold Lily on his lap and swabbed the inside of her cheek with a little brush that looked like a lollipop. He murmured, "Good job, little bird," out of habit, and had to stop himself like the words were a bridge he wasn't allowed to cross anymore. The results came in faster than I was ready for. The lab portal displayed probability of paternity, 0% like a sentence someone carved into glass. The next morning, Sam's lawyer filed an amended petition to disestablish paternity and a motion to remove his name from the birth certificate once the court entered an order. He CC'd me and my unopened email to counsel. There was a notice for a temporary hearing to sort out money and schedules. An early status thing the clerk said judges like to do to keep people from burning down their lives. Friends wanted the story. I told almost no one. The ones I did tell gave me the full spectrum. He's still her dad in every way that matters. DNA doesn't make a father. He's doing what he has to. Jasmine, who doesn't do comforting lies, said, "You bet the truth against your comfort." The truth won. I told Julian nothing because there is no version of this where he becomes heroic. I sent him one text: "You don't get to contact me or Lily. Any attempt will go through my lawyer." He replied, "Can we talk?" And I archived it so fast it felt like slapping a mosquito. At the temporary hearing, the judge wore the tired kindness of someone who has heard every flavor of heartbreak. She ordered the genetic test results sealed because the internet doesn't need to raise our child, and set a temporary support arrangement based on current realities: daycare, rent, groceries. She told us not to disparage each other because little ears turn whispers into identities. She said, as if she says it every day, children need routine, and set a predictable schedule for Lily's weeks that did not rely on my tears or Sam's silence. She set a date for the paternity matter and reminded us, this is a no-fault state. You do not get extra points for pain. Sam didn't look at me much. When he did, it was with that same engineering gaze, as if measuring whether the beam I'd cracked could be replaced, or if the house would be safer rebuilt elsewhere. I asked my therapist if it was immoral to want him back. She said it was human. Then she asked the question I hired her to ask: do you want him back because he is good, or because you can't stand the version of you who did this? The truth sat between us like a third chair. In the second week, Sam sent a short email. Subject: Lily. Pediatrician/daycare. I'll take Lily to her Friday checkup if you want. Appointments at 2:30. If you prefer to take her, please confirm before Wednesday noon so I can cancel my time off. Daycare tuition autopay. I've left my portion on until month end so we don't trigger a late fee. Please set up your account by the 28th. Please do not send me photos of Lily outside the daily update. It hurts. I'll see her on my scheduled days. It hurts. He finally said a feeling, and he did it like a man who doesn't use feelings as leverage. I deleted 3 draft replies that began with please and ended with I'm sorry. I wrote instead, I'll take her Friday. I've set up daycare, autopay. Understood about photos. When the paternity order came down, it wasn't cinematic. The judge sighed, reviewed the lab report, and granted Sam's petition to disestablish. She explained the legal consequences in neutral language. He is not the legal father. His name will be removed from the birth certificate, future support obligations end as of the date of filing. She also said he could, in the future, petition for a form of contact if both parties agreed, because the law can't order affection, but it can bless agreements. Then she wished us luck the way doctors say, you'll feel some pressure. Sam wins if you have to put points on a scoreboard. He wins by not humiliating me publicly. He wins by getting a lawyer instead of getting drunk. He wins by learning the difference between being Lily's dad and being her legal father, and letting the court draw a line where biology wouldn't. He wins by setting email-only boundaries and sticking to them when my panic begged for a loophole. He wins by knowing that love is not a reason to live inside a lie, even a beautiful one. Sometimes in the kitchen at night, I still hear him pacing with Lily. The long, slow loop from hallway to stove to window and back, the soft little bird that made our apartment feel like a nest. She still asks Daddy at bedtime, and I say, Daddy loves you, because he does, in the way you can love a season you can't live in anymore. I don't know what their relationship will be when she is older. I know the next sentence is mine to get right. The one where I say, I made a mistake before you were born, and the adults did their best not to make you pay for it. If there is any mercy, it's this. The boring parts of the law are designed to make less room for chaos. We have a schedule. We have bills on autopay. We have a sealed result that Lily never has to read on the internet. We have a man who refused to set himself on fire to keep my lie warm. I wanted a miracle. I got math. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. She gambled with the truth and confessed too late. He didn't explode. He protected himself. Lawyer, DNA test, quiet exit. If you're living with a secret that can burn a family down, the only humane time to say it is before lives are built on it. If you like this video, please subscribe for more. Thanks, and see y'all tomorrow.